Hello Blizzard fans, this is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Blizzard upload. This is a game between MorN and JevynSlayer on Coda, the latter edition. This is a Heart of the Swarm Terran vs. Zerg replay that one of these players sent to falconpaladin@gmail.com, and you too can submit replays to falconpaladin@gmail.com, and I will try and cast them as long as I don't get overwhelmed. Right now it's pretty manageable, but that could change in the future, so if I don't cast a replay, please don't be upset. Try again later with another amazing replay, and maybe you'll get lucky. Alright, in the top left of Coda, the latter edition, we have the Red Terran player. It is MorN from MorN. I mean, isn't that just kind of like a little self-absorbed, right? Like you're MorN and your clan is named MorN? Come on, man. In the bottom right of Coda, the latter edition, we have the Blue Zerg player. It is JevynSlayer, also from MorN. So apparently these two guys know each other. They are part of the same clan. We'll have to see if that means they're going to fight each other harder or maybe go easy on the other guy because they don't want to make their teammate upset. Regardless, this is a TVZ game. Usually what we see is a 15 hatch out of the Zerg and then a Reaper expand from the Terran. I'd be really shocked if it was anything else, although MorN could go mech, which would necessitate a slightly different build, possibly, although I don't think I've ever seen MorN go mech against Zerg in any of the replays that I've seen of his so far, so that would be a departure, to be entirely honest. Either way, the Overlords are scouting out across the map here and just kind of checking things out. By the time this actually posts on YouTube, I think we'll have already, we'll definitely have already had the subscriber mono battles in Heart of the Swarm. That was going to be about 4 or 5 days ago now at this point. And for those who joined in, thank you so much for joining. It was a lot of fun. We had, I think, 6 people that came out and in, maybe 7. Had some really fun times going random mono battle strategies and just kind of getting to know each other. And we'll plan on doing it again and maybe get a little bit more participation. We can actually fill out a 4v4 with people from the Falcon Paladin channel. So I did create a custom chat channel, Falcon Paladin. So hop on there if you're in Heart of the Swarm ever. And I'm going to see if I'll be in there as well and I can say hello. But as I was saying, a 15 hatch coming out from JevynSlayer. And actually, was that a command center first? It was. We had supply depot into command center into barracks here for MorN. So it's not going to be a barracks expand, not going to be a Reaper expand. There is not going to be any harassment for quite some time here against the Zerg player. There is actually an SCV. You might try to throw down a bunker and be a little bit sneaky, but because that barracks is so late, you can't get Marines down there, you can't get Reapers down there until this hatchery is finished. There's really no reason whatsoever to throw down that bunker. But yeah, spawning pool now coming up for Jevyn, and we're going to have to see what happens after that. Not getting any gas, which tells me we're probably going to go roaches. If you're going to go speedlings, you probably want gas right about this time, but might be saving up those minerals as well just to make sure that he has 2 queens available for these 2 hatcheries when they are finished. So command center just about to finish for MorN at this point. Again, no scout at all from Jevyn. I don't know what this is all about. Players that don't scout really kind of confuse me. If we take a look, the Overlord that scouted for Jevyn did see this command center, so he knows that is an early expansion for his friend MorN, which means maybe take a 3rd base, maybe try to harass it with some lings. But again, the fact that we don't have any gas tells me we are going super macro right now for Jevyn and probably should be taking a 3rd base if at all possible. Overlords are scouting, but no drones, no lings in production whatsoever. This is turning out to be quite the macro game. We'll have to see what each player decides to go for. Right now we do have the single barracks, and there's a single gas there as well. That tells me it's probably going to be bio for MorN, just because if you're going mech, you probably want those double gas a little bit earlier than theirs. There's a single bunker at the top of the ramp to the natural for Jevyn. I don't think we're going to see Ling Baneling anytime soon because, again, just no gas still from Jevyn. And just as soon as I say that, he throws 2 extractors down at his natural and still not taking a 3rd base. So maybe a bit of a 2-base, 2-base Roach play, 2-base Roach Hydra. It's really hard to say right now for Jevyn. There are 2 queens out here, but again, I don't think they really have to defend against much of anything whatsoever. These Marines are hanging out in this bunker. They're never going to leave that bunker at all. The barracks is getting a reactor, which just means more Marines, a factory is being built, and a 3rd command center coming up for MorN now. I think this might be an example of both players just knowing each other, just having played against each other a lot, knowing both of them really favor the macro type style, and knowing there's not going to be any early harassment coming out from anybody for quite some time. We're 6 minutes into the match now exactly, and there's been no Ling attacks, no Reaper attacks, no Marine attacks. Usually, in my estimation, this puts the Zerg player at quite an advantage, because if you just let a Zerg player sit back and macro and not have to worry about defending against attacks, they can macro up like crazy. There are 47 47 total supply right now, 38 harvesters for Jevyn. MorN only has 29, and he's going to keep falling farther and farther behind unless he does something to change this. We're getting 2 evolution chambers and a roach warren right at the front door of the natural for Jevyn, and a lair also popping up for Jevyn at the same time. Orbital command on both of these command centers, so definitely wants that mule production. And what's going on? Do we have more barracks being built? No, not really. We have Hellions. Hellions are coming out, but I think they're going to show up about the same time the roaches start to pop, honestly, for Jevyn at this rate. These are the latest Hellions in the history of harassment. That was a lot of H's. I feel like I'm Dr. Seuss or something. There is a barracks here, or an engineering bay, rather, being constructed at the potential third base for Jevyn, just being really, really annoying. Again, no lings whatsoever on the field. Trying to take out that SCV before it escapes, and yes, it does explode and fall down that ramp. Going to try to get rid of the engineering bait. This has so many hit points. This is a huge delay to Jevyn's economy. I feel like he should have had the third earlier, but again, that's okay. +1 missile attacks and +1 carapace on the way for Jevyn as well, and glial reconstitution for those roaches. Are we actually going to use these Hellions back at MorN's base? And no, it doesn't look like it. These Hellions are mainly for pace defense. I don't know what to tell you. I'm not sure why that would be the case at all. Creep spread looking pretty good for Jevyn as well, making it move out across with several creep tumors. A lot of roaches on the field now. How many total do we have? 7 with 3 more in production upgrades for those roaches at the same time. These Hellions, if they try to come in now, it's going to be way too late. They're not going to be able to do any damage whatsoever unless they become Hellbats, and that might be a little bit more dangerous. But yeah, more and more barracks being constructed. This is definitely a bio-style play, excuse me, from MorN. But here come the Hellions moving around, checking for things in the left side of the base, or left side of the map rather. Trying to swing around, probably kill some stuff at the third based on where they're attacking to. The roaches are coming around to intercept, though. They might actually get there. Yeah, the roaches show up right on time. It's immediately snipe down one Hellion, and then the Hellion's back on out. They know they don't want to deal with roaches. They do so little damage to armored units like these roaches are that it's just not really worth it. Unless they can transform into Hellbats, making them a little bit more tanky, a little bit more DPS against that type of a unit. But regardless, barracks are finishing up for MorN, kicking into high gear. No third base yet, though. A Terran with 3 bases going bio is truly a scary thing for Zerg players, but right now, no third, and really no plans to do so, I don't think. This orbital command has been here forever, but it's pretty much just being used for SCVs and for mules. I'm not sure if MorN is afraid to go out with it, or what the plan is, but roaches are sitting right at the front door of MorN. And here we come. There is a bunker. There are 3 marauders here. I'm not sure if it's enough to really chase away 10 or 12 roaches, which is what we have. And here we come. Going to try to snipe down this bunker. 1 roach does die, but the DPS might be a little bit too much. Trying to repair it. No, the bunker does fall. These Marines stand no chance whatsoever. But more and more Marines are reinforcing. The marauders are chasing down the roaches as well as the Hellions. I would honestly just stand and fight if I were these roaches, but maybe Jevyn's a little bit better of a player than I am. I don't know. I mean, based on how fast the roaches are dying when they do get caught, perhaps this is the right decision, just to retreat and take your losses. One of them does burn to death by that Hellion. Now the turnabout comes. Ooh, sniping at an SCV and a Hellion and getting a transfuse from that Queen. So thanks a lot, Queen. That was very, very useful. Creep spread, again, not super fantastic, but the third base is pretty much instantly established here for Jevyn. During that attack, made sure to drone up, get 3 workers on each of those gas, and man, a lot of gas income right now for Jevyn. And again, kind of stuck on 2 bases. Looked like there was a pause. A solid get wrecked, mate, from MorN there. Always good to see between friends. No, again, no third, a third base. We're getting upgrades though. We're also going to go ahead and get vehicle and ship weapons level 1 in the armory for MorN, and there comes the third base. It is now landing right here in the bit more exposed, I'd have to say, but a little bit closer to the main base place. The other one's going to be up here in the top right, which I guess is a little bit farther away. I don't know. There's definitely some trade-offs depending on where you take these thirds. A 4th base now coming up for Jevyn as well. It's pretty much Roach Ling right now. Spire on the way for Jevyn. That is going to be very, very important. And also getting Carapace level 2 and melee attacks level 1. A few Banelings mixed in as well. So basically recognizing this is bio, so the roaches aren't going to be super useful. You want to go for Ling, Baneling, Muta at this point in the game. And yeah, kind of pushing out again with a few Lings, checking for Widow Mines, I think. Yep, no Widow Mines to speak of, but again, there are Hellbats, there are Marauders, there are Marines. That's a pretty scary composition for what we have for Jevyn. Throwing in a hatchery on the low ground here between the 1st and 3rd bases, or rather the 2nd and 3rd bases. I mean, you can't make that into a planetary fortress. I'm not sure what that is. I guess it's a macro hatch, but in a very weird position. A drop is coming down around the left side for MorN with basically 8 Marines inside. They land on the low, or up the high ground here. And then picking up again and boosting on in. I'm not sure what that was for at all, but here we go. We have some roaches, but they're running away. No, the roaches and banelings were in perfect position to deal with this, pulling all the drones, kind of taking a dangerous path to get there. But here come the lings, just a quick pickup and escapes with every single one of those marines. Oh, actually one of them did die, so never mind. And a drop over here in the main as well. Marines getting cleaned up. The mutalisks are going to chase down this medevac and try to kill it if they can. But nope, there are marines on the ground. Are they going to actually get some mutas? Yes, they do get 2 mutas. Ooh, that was some good micro there. Good positioning by MorN, having those marines ready, flying the medevac over as kind of bait for the mutalisks, and then burning a couple of them down. And every mutalisk is very important right now for Jevyn. So we'll have to see if that hurts in the long run. On another drop again, coming back around the left side down to that third base. Are there units here to deal with it? Yeah, a couple banelings, few roaches, few lings. This should be enough, to be entirely honest. But here we come. Mutas are chasing down these medevacs, and they are faster. Man, that would be huge to get that second one. Yes, they do get a full medevac and a third medevac. No, they back right on out of there. There are now widow mines in this composition, along with marines and medevacs and a single marauder, so not that many right now. The mutalisks are trying to go against these marines. I don't know if it's a right choice, to be entirely honest. They're +2/+2 marines with medevac support, and yes, finally choosing to fly away. The drop on the left side a lot more successful than I thought. I'm not sure what happened to those banelings and those roaches, but yeah, I mean, the extractor got entirely burned down there. This drop has just been consistent and persistent from MorN. Oh, burrowed baneling hits on top of all of those marines. Wow, I didn't even see those burrowed banelings, but they came out and they exploded and they were amazing. Wow, we don't see that very often. But here we come, trying to snipe down widow mines before they can go off and activate. Nope, they activate. They take out a lot of banelings. Yikes. That was a massive hit for MorN, but pretty good splits. Mutalisks and roaches taking down split up marines and marauders. The marauders getting cleaned up as well. I think that entire army is now dead. Coming up the ramp is a little dangerous because of the widow mines. Widow mine hits do very, very well. There is a roach, or a Thor rather. The Thor gets immediately focused down by these roaches, and lings do manage to get it, getting a full surround up on these marines as well. We're going to zoom out just a little bit. Attacks on 2 fronts here. Small groups of marines and marauders are coming in, but the roaches are kind of ready for them. But instead, the roaches and the lings do decide to retreat. Jevyn decides he's done enough damage for one day. These poor overseers are just so slow, getting stimmed and burned down by those marines. The marines do have +2/+2/+3/+3, about halfway finished at this point. The counterattack, oh, a little bit of overextend there by MorN. I think a lot of marines died. Yep, got killed, and everybody has to pick up the medevacs and get the heck on out of there. Trying to land. Whoa, don't land there. It's not a good landing spot. Boosh. And the widow mine hits are pretty good, but there are just so many roaches, so many banelings, so many lings here right now. The lings do have +2/+1 and +2/+1 as well for the roaches. This entire third base is under siege by roaches and by lings. I've never seen roaches be this effective against Bile before. I'm going to have to be honest. Yikes. Burrowed widow mine's killing a lot of those guys, though, and maybe that's why we don't usually see roaches in this matchup. That is a very expensive death, to be sure. Forced to lift off the orbital command, though, is MorN, but losing a lot of command centers as well. Is not going to be supply blocked anytime soon. Just going to go ahead and try to escape. No! Instead, going right on top of this. Widow mine hits, again, fairly good, but 4 widow mines on cooldown cannot be used. Chasing up with lings, and then backing out, making... Whoa. Production tab shows us 25 banelings in production for our Zerg player. Yikes. That is massive. Widow mine's trying to burrow in an advantageous position. They do manage to do so. But, oh boy, here we go. What big widow mine hits, taking out a lot of stuff there. The banelings are rolling in with +2/+2. Infestation pit just finishes. +3/+3. Almost done for MorN, but a little bit too late. I don't know. Oh, guys left on the ground do end up dead. That third base is not coming back anytime soon. Jevyn has complete map control. The mutalisks even snipe down the command center as all the parts fall down into the ravine. Very tragically. A scan comes out, sees exactly what MorN is up against. Widow mine hit, takes out another mutalisk. Where are the overseers, man? We need those so bad against these widow mines. I don't know, but MorN is continuing to make marines, continuing to make widow mines, is not going to leave this game. Absolutely not. Showing Terran resilience here. Banelings crashing on in, lings coming in as well. Mutalisks overhead killing absolutely what they can. The splits are okay. The widow mine hits are all right as well, but I think there's just too much here. Jevyn in complete control right at the front door of MorN's natural, taking down supply depots. Reinforcing marines are getting cleaned up by lings and mutos. as well. Are we supply blocking MorN yet? No, nope, Jevyn is not quite yet, but supply depots continue to fall down. This Beetleisk ends up dead. Unfortunate for Jevyn. And pushing back the attack is MorN. He is resilient. He refuses to say die. A 5th base coming up for Jevyn here as well. Not looking super good for MorN of MorN fame. A lot of Widow Mines are here. 5 kills, 2 kills. This one has 30 kills. That's a Commander Widow Mine. 30 kills on this guy at the top of the ramp. Moving on down now. Yikes. Alright, either way, but we do have Mutalisks, Roaches, Lings, Banelings checking out this 5th base, trying to see what's going on, but it's 5 bases to 2 bases right now. Small group is available for MorN, bringing all the SCVs as well, but they're going against Zerglings, and that is not a fantastic place to be whatsoever. The splits are okay, but Lings coming in from the right side, trying to take care of them. The Banelings have not quite hit yet. I'm not sure if they're entirely necessary, but they explode anyway, taking the Marines down, and that's it. MorN calls...